So let's get started and people will keep joining in. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. So today's session is a very interesting session on Performance Max. And as a series, we are doing this for professionals since we are all working from different part of the world. And sometimes we do not have that community and collective learning opportunities as much as we want. So as a company, we thought we are already doing training for various groups. Recently, I did a session for Stanford Seed. Our team has done one for IFTs. We're doing it for various corporates at various times, universities, colleges. But for professionals, that's an area where we were not doing too much in terms of training and sessions and discussions. And this series is about sharing whatever we know and also learning from the community so that we can all come together and keep learning. And we always believe that better professionals make better society. And we will have to all collaborate together to keep improving the standards for digital marketing ecosystem as a whole. So that's the whole idea. And here, as much as we are sharing the knowledge, we are also keen to learn from each one of you. If you have done something very special or you want to share something, please do get in touch with us. We can invite you for one of the sessions and then we can use that opportunity to share it with other people. And all these videos will be available for everyone to see and get this knowledge. So the difference between rest of the training and this training is this is more practical in nature. This is more in-depth. So feel free to ask us any questions related to execution. Some of these things we can cover it here. Sometimes we might have to take up some of those things offline and share some of the reports with you, which we may not be able to share it in public in a recorded session. But we will be happy to support you in any format that we can. And we will also, as I said, it's not only about me telling you something, we can also learn from you if you're doing something interesting. And as I said, today's session is about Google's Performance Max, and Kaushik will be talking about it. So let's look at from a what is the context of today's session. The context of today's session is we've been all doing marketing and advertising for many years. I've been doing this for the last 15 years plus in terms of advertisement and so and so. Every phase has a different paradigm shift, major technological shift, etc. And for last few years, all of us, at the ecosystem level, has been discussing about artificial intelligence, machine learning, how a different level of scale can be achieved with all the automation that we are seeing. And today, those automations we are seeing across all the platforms. So if you talk about Facebook, we have Power 5. I don't know how many of you have explored Power 5, but Power 5 framework of Facebook, and we can take a different session for Power 5 of Facebook, and where again all of these things are looking at where you have so many targeting options, you have so many options at individual level. We have limited capabilities to use all of the options which is available, and machines are helping us to optimize it further. So the context is the changing of this paradigm in advertising where artificial intelligence, machine learning is trying to scale up all the targeting, all the options which are available in a dynamic level. So that's where started with just basic objective level optimization in an automated way. Now you have Performance Max, which is not only limited to one area, but Kaushik will explain more about it. So various things. The context is too much data. And when I look at anything like artificial intelligence and anywhere, so you had a lot of data available to the people, and previously we used to use the data and then convert that for our own usage. But today the data in itself is so much that data has to be converted to various automations where we don't use the data, but we use the automation on top of the data so that we can make the best use of the data. So that's where we are standing with respect to the today's session, that how Performance Max can be used correctly and incorrectly in various ways to look at various options which are available. Because at times, since it's a machine trying to do things for you, or it's an automation at various levels, when you should be using it, how you should be using it, from a surface level, theoretical level, often it looks very, very good to use. But on a practical level, at times you need to understand the theory behind it. And so let me ask you a question, that what do you prefer? Do you prefer manual campaigns? Do you prefer automated campaigns? What is your normal preference? Because when I talk to industry, various people, a lot of people, are like, no, I will not go to automated at all. I'll go for manual. And so, I mean, so what's your preference? Are you into manual or automatic? Automation, but not like Performance Max, automation within different channels. Perfect, Tarun. Thank you so much for sharing. And others, what is your preference? Do you do manual, automated, a mix of manual and automated? Okay, Indrajit, more of an automated. First manual, then check what's all working, then automate. Yeah, manual, good. So everyone can comment on it. Okay, thank you so much. So it's a mix that most of you are saying, a mix of manual and automated kind of a option. So even when I looked at things in the initial stages, I was very particular about keeping a full control of things, and it's a battle between, as as a professional, even if you have a preference, at times the platform in itself is changing the priorities. So when the platform in itself is changing the priorities, at times theoretically we might feel manual is supposed to work like this, but then it does not allow you to work like this. So at a philosophical level, we all should be open for whatever is working. As we always say that companies like Apple and etc. had been promoting this, that we have no religion, we have only one religion, whether it is working or not. So as long as whether auto is working or manual is working, you should take a call. And currently automation is in a stage where it is still evolving. So when it is evolving, so you should be open for both manual and automated. So I'll give you a quick perspective and then I'll hand over to Kaushik to take it forward. So when you look at why I feel it's very important for you to take a call, that when automation is good, when manual is good. So the way we normally look at a market is that you have a top of the funnel or top of the market, you have a bottom of the market. So bottom of the market is when they are closer to decision making, and top of the market is we don't know whether they will have a requirement immediately or not. So we are knocking the door to get an impulsive sales, or we are trying to build a brand building exercise around it. So when we use an automation like Power 5 on Facebook, it's very different because we know that we don't know the intent of the person. It is primarily only at the tofu that we are working at, top of the funnel, that all my audience falls under one single bucket. So automation is supposed to work in a particular manner. But when I look at Google, so Google is combining search, display, YouTube, everything together. Now it's one channel which is catering at bottom of the funnel also, middle of the funnel also, top of the funnel also, because there are multiple channels which are falling under this. And there, an automation means a very complicated automation. It's not an easy automation, because with Facebook, if something had worked at a certain level, a Power 5 can scale it up to a very large level. And that's exactly what we have seen in various automation on Facebook. But on Google, will it work? Will it not work? Is not easy. And various channels, because it's a multiple channel. And end of the day, when you look at it, the core framework is always the customer journey. Whom am I reaching to? What am I saying to them? And how is that helping us in taking the conversation forward and converting it? So when we look at automation, how the TG is going to be different, how the messaging is going to be different. So with Performance Max, we are looking at automating of a TG. We are looking at automating of a message. So that also brings in some level of complexity, that how all of those things are going to come into the picture. And there are occasions where it has worked good for us, and there are occasions which had backfired. And I'll give you a quick example, and then we'll go into the details of it. Is that let me take an example of a company which is working in India and US. Okay, so in India, we are targeting all the people who are interested in, say, a jewelry. And so it's very homogeneous kind of a market. So when I look at automation, it is targeting the people who will have a higher potential of buying this kind of a jewelry. But when I'm selling an Indian jewelry in US, my first level is all of the people whom I should be targeting is Indian. So will an automation system actually understand that all my customers are Indian? So if they can't understand it, all the other optimization with respect to age, gender, all of those things does not yield any kind of a result. So thus we have seen that certain such kind of campaign which is working in one location is not working in another location. So you'll have to understand how all of these things work at a machine level. As some of you have said, it's all about data. Initially starts with manual, add a lot of data, probably the automation will understand the data and then optimize it. So these are all discussion points that we will have, and in fact we have taken some of the session on how an artificial intelligence works, how artificial intelligence is implemented within a company. So maybe that is a session that at times we can take so that we understand the limitations which is there in any artificial intelligence or any machine learning that is available, or any automation, because end of the day it's all dependent on how you are feeding the data. If the data is fed wrong, the base in itself may not be giving you the right results, and then optimizing it. And it's a very interesting phase of advertising altogether where we are depending on the data. So with this interesting session, I hand over to Kaushik, but remember the whole framework and the background and etc. So we will take up questions. If you have any questions in between, put that on the chat. We'll take up the questions either in between this. I'll ask questions to Kaushik, or towards the end, we will have some time where we will have all the questions being taken and discussed. Over to you, Kaushik.
Sure, sir.
A very interesting session.
Thank you. So good evening, everyone. So first of all, I was checking the chat, like how many of you are actually preferring automation, how many are preferring manual, then automation. That's great. It's a great engagement altogether. So let's start with Performance Max campaign. So in today's session, we are going to cover these topics like, let me share my full screen. Yeah. How to structure your Performance Max campaign to get maximum results in your business, be it lead-based business, be it a e-commerce business. Then how to interpret insights and use them to scale up your Performance Max campaign. Third point will be how to safeguard your search campaign so that Performance Max won't gonna overshadow them. Lastly, we'll go through the reporting structure, like what type of reportings are available in your Performance Max campaign, how you can interpret those reports. So these are the topics we are going to be covered. So before that, would like to understand how many of you already running Performance Max campaign. If you could put that in our chat, that would be a great help so that we can see how many people are actually using. Yeah, Tarun is running for his e-commerce business. Yogesh not yet. All right. Anyone else? For service based, Sakshi. It's great. Nikhil for e-commerce. All right. So I believe most of us are running Performance Max campaign for their client's business or their personal business. So what the Performance Max actually is, by the name we can derive, Performance Max is a campaign type. It's a newly launched campaign type back in 2020. In GML 2020, Google announced about this campaign. Then they launched in as a beta version. Then they unlocked this Performance Max campaign few months back. It's a new campaign type. With the help of machine learning, Performance Max showcased our ad in all the Google ad inventories, be it search, be it display, be it YouTube, be it shopping for e-commerce, be it for Discover or Gmail. So this is a unique campaign type. With the help of this campaign, you can showcase your products or showcase your services in all the Google ad inventories. And Google will try to optimize it based on the machine learning. As Ajit sir say, that automation is not bad. The factor is that how we are feeding the right data to our automation system, Google machine learning. So we'll try to solve all the problems, I mean maximum problems today. So this is the introduction for Performance Max. Now, what type of bidding strategies are available? So Performance Max is only supporting the smart bidding strategy. Now, what is smart bidding strategy? Smart bidding strategy is a subset of a bidding strategy for automated bidding. And these are actually using Google machine learning to increase your conversion or your revenue, whatever the goal is. So in this campaign type, we can see only 4 bidding strategies are available, and each of the bidding strategy are a part of smart bidding strategy. Rather, you can say smart bidding strategies are these: maximize conversion, which actually helps you to increase your conversion. Target CPA will try to get a conversion within your desired CPA. Maximize conversion value will try to increase your revenue in incremental basis. And target ROS will try to optimize based on your ROS goal. So these type of bidding strategies are available in Performance Max. Now, one thing I would like to highlight here, I believe every one of us are running Google Ads, right? So Google Ads is organized into 3-4 layers. Let's say if we are talking about a search campaign is, I mean, search campaign organized into few layers like account, then campaign, then ad group, then keywords and ads, and ad extension you can take it. Similarly, Performance Max is organized into 4 layers. One is campaign, where you can, like other campaign, you can add location, budget, all these things. Then asset groups. Asset groups, you can say similar to ad groups, where you can add assets in terms of messaging, like text messaging, then image, then video, landing page. Third point is audience signals. So this is the most important part, what I feel, for Performance Max campaign. Why? Because audience signal is the option where you can feed your data to Google machine learning. With the help of it, Google machine learning can identify your potential customers. And last of all, listing group. It is mainly for e-commerce business, like Tarun said, and few minutes back, Nikhil also said for e-commerce, and Nilaksh also said for e-commerce and lead generation. So these are very useful to connect with your merchant center product, and you can see listing group product data in your Performance Max campaign. So this is the structure of your Performance Max campaign. So few prerequisites are required. Like first of all, you have to have your conversion tracking set up, and it should be set up properly. Without conversion tracking, there's no point to run any Performance Max campaign. You have to set up it properly so that you can track your conversion accurately. Be it for lead gen business, your conversion tracking should be set up in your confirmation or thank you page. And for e-commerce business, your enhanced e-commerce analytics code should be there in the thank you confirmation page. And you can import it to Google Ads. Or if you want, you can manually put the code using GTM, or you can implement via hard code in the website. It's up to you, but your conversion tracking should be set up properly. And Google ad account should link with YouTube analytics, and for e-commerce businesses, merchant center. I'm telling you why. If you link with your YouTube channel, then you will be able to remarket your YouTube audiences, be it for YouTube subscribers, be it for YouTube ad viewers, or YouTube video viewers as well. And in analytics, why it is important, you can import your goal there in Google Ads, and you can track the conversions if you are okay with that. And merchant center, why it is needed, to connect your products and showcase your products in shopping center, shopping ads, as a shopping ads or dynamically marketing ads. So another thing we need, like these are the asset requirement. If you can see like my screen, like landing page URL is needed for final URL. Headlines 30 character max, we need it as 5. Among that, try to use 15 character or lesser than 15 characters headline in your Performance Max campaign, so that Google can combine all the headlines and showcase the best performing headlines. Long headline, we need 5, 90 character must, and the count is 5 here, you can see, but the minimum headline is 3. For headline and long headline, you need at least 1. Description, 160 character description you need, and 90 character description 4. Total 5 descriptions you need. One business name, and call to action will be here automated by default, or if you want, you can select from the list, like it can be learn more, it can be shop now, it can be contact us, everyone. Then display URL path. The main thing is that image. Here we recommend use all the image types, like it should be landscape image, there should be square image, there should be portrait image, so that you can participate all the options. your ad can showcase all the placements, all the eligible placements. Next, logo. You should have a square logo and a landscape logo, that is 4:1. Here I have mentioned the size as well. You can see it, or once you get the recorded video, you can go through it as well. Last but not the least, a video. So let me tell you, these days what is happening. We tried with a performance max campaign without a video. Within next 2 days, what we found, Google created a video from based on the images and messaging, and that video was horrible. So it would be great at the time of setup, you please mention a video. Otherwise, I mean, Google will create a video video app for you and will promote your products based on that video. That video is not that much good. I would recommend use a video from your YouTube channel. So let's create a performance max campaign. So we are in a, ad account. It's our company ad account. So let's create a new campaign. So few things I would like to highlight here at the time of creating the campaign. If you have any question, please use the chat box. So at the time of setting up the campaign, you'll see so many objectives are there: sales, leads, website traffic, all this stuff. So let me tell you, performance max campaign is available in this section. This objective, local store visit, create a campaign without a goal guidance. So we at TechShoe mainly recommends to use any of these two objectives, or if you are planning to promote a local store visit, you can use this objective as well. Do not run using without a goal guidance, because whenever you are taking help from Google machine learning, you should take all the things properly, right? If you are creating a manual campaign, you can definitely use it. Like if you need to create a YouTube in-stream campaign, you can definitely use it. But whenever you are taking a help from Google machine learning, use the objective properly. Then you'll see account default goals. So these goals are by default our account default goals. So here few goals are not important for us at this moment. So I'm removing that by clicking 3 dots and click on the remove. So these two goals are needed for us. Phone call leads, call from ads. This is very much needed for a digital marketing agency. And submit lead form. One is Google hosted lead form. That works like Facebook lead form. A lead form will appear once anyone actually seeing your video or tapping on the ad extension lead form. This lead form will appear, and the website landing page lead form. So I'm clicking on continue. Here from the campaign type, I'm clicking on performance max campaign. Let me name my campaign. I'm naming it as test max campaign. So one thing I would like to highlight, your naming convention is very important. Why? I'll come to this topic later at the time of showing you the scenario based campaign structure. So I'm creating a new campaign. These days Google is very much slow. Yeah. So you have to enter your daily budget. Let's say I'm putting it as 1,000 rupees. Now, one thing I would like to highlight here. What should be your ideal bidding strategy? Let's say if you're running for your e-commerce, like the way Tarun is running, Nilaksh is running, Nikhil is running. So if it is for e-commerce, your goal is to generate more revenue. Then you can use conversion value. If you are using enhanced e-commerce analytics or as a goal, or you have set up the goal according to the e-commerce structure goal, you can use conversion value. Or if you want to increase the conversion count, use conversions. By default, it will run as a maximize conversion. Whenever you are clicking on this target cost per action, it will start working as a CPA, TCPA weighting, the way I showcased. So if you are running your e-commerce business at conversion value for a long time, let's say you are running a smart shopping campaign with conversion value goal. Now you want to target, smart shopping campaign, let me tell you, is going to upgrade it to performance max campaign by this month. So now you want to test with target ROAS bidding. So you can put the target as well. Let's say I want my target ROAS to be 350%. So this is the way you can set the bidding. So for digital marketing agency, my goal is to be generate my conversions, not the revenue. So I've taken conversions. Now location part is to almost the same. India, my languages should be English. One of the most important thing in performance max is final URL expansion. Like if you can see here, by default, it actually shows on send traffic to most relevant URLs on your site. Guys, one thing I would like to highlight here, by default, if you take this option, it will try to, use the website pages as well, since it's a totally machine learning, campaign. So if you are running a lead gen business, okay, someone says something, is it a good idea to give a percentage of conversion value for new campaign, like you get 350%? So Tarun, it would be great if you are running already a smart shopping campaign or any other campaign with conversion value based bidding, and you are seeing a good conversion value and ROAS is a certain percentage is there. Based on the last 30 days data, put the ROAS target like that, like based on the 30 days data, put the the ROAS data that you are seeing in the campaign, put the ROAS target there. Like target ROS, if it is last 30 days is showing like 380%, we can give it 380%. There's no issue. All right.
And Kaushik, if I can add one pointer there.
Yeah.
So Tarun, as in, yeah, why it is important, let's look at from a machine level perspective. This is an input to Google saying that, because the ROS is all about the CAC LTV. Google does not know what CAC LTV justifies for your business. So the input is a great input for Google to understand that whether an ROS of 3.5 is good, or you need an ROS of 50. Or like for example, in real estate case, you will have an ROS of 50, but in case of a normal fashion, etc., you will go for an ROS of in the first level at a 3, and then later go to a 5 or a 6 kind of a thing. So that is a good input for Google to look into that. In the even from an initial stage, the optimization will not give you the ROS, but it's good to give a input to Google that what is your requirement around it. And what Kaushik said is, once you have the data, then based on that you can take a call that how much is the input that you want to give, and if you restrict it, then probably you'll have a less reach, but otherwise you should give the input at least to Google. Yeah, over to you, Kaushik.
Yeah, thanks, sir. So let's discuss about final URL expansion. So whenever you are running a lead generation based business and you are having a dedicated landing page for it, do not use this option. Otherwise, it will cater the website inner pages as well. So always use send traffic to provided URLs on for lead gen business. And apart from that, there's the options you guys already knows about that, like app scheduling, start date, end date, campaign URL options. You want to, if you want to use ETM parameters, you can definitely use it. That's it for campaign settings. Let's come to asset group. So if you can see, first point is asset group name. So I can name it, let's say digital marketing services. My asset group will be related to digital marketing services. So your images, your videos, your messaging should be related to digital marketing services. All right. So I have prepared some ad as well. So I'm putting down the final URL, taking image from the image bank. Like 360-degree digital marketing. The way I mentioned, like here, if you can see, I have already mentioned the image as well. One landscape, one square, one portrait. At least use 15 images for your one asset group, so that Google can have enough data to get all the things in place, and they can, test out multiple creatives and combine multiple creatives, so that you will get more results from it. Just a second. I'm saving it. Then logos. As I mentioned, logo is also important. So from asset library, I'll select logos. And lastly, videos. As I mentioned, these days, Google is creating videos based on the images and messaging. So I'm taking any of the video like this one. For headline, try to use all the headlines. So I have prepared some headlines as well. So I'm using these. At this moment, I'm using this much of headlines since it's a dummy campaign, a call to action. Okay, try to use at least one headline that is 15 lesser than 15 characters. Let's say I'm doing this, it's still 18 characters. Try to use one headline which is lesser than 50 characters. All right, so long headline. A short description within 60 characters and other description should be 90 characters. So that's it. If I want, I can use the call, any type of call to action. For now, I'm using contact us, and the business name should be TechShoe, which should be within 25 characters. Now the main thing is that audience signal. I am using asset group for digital marketing services. So my audience signal would be like that. I'm adding an audience signal, creating new audiences, new audience signal. So I'm naming it as digital marketing services new, because we are already having digital marketing services. So in this segments, custom segment, you need to add like people, how people are actually searching for your website. So my favorite thing is that using custom intent, like people who search for any of these terms on Google. So if I can write it down, digital marketing company, digital marketing services company in India. Let's see how these are, I mean, online marketing companies for small businesses. I'm just taking this business digital marketing solution, all this stuff. I'm not going to add any type of SEO or PPC or social media related terms here. Why? I'm telling you at later stage. So that's it. And your data means your past data. So we are having website visitors, YouTube users. That is the reason I asked everyone to use YouTube users. So Tarun, would be interesting to know why one headline should be lesser than 15 characters. All right. So let me tell you why it is lesser than 15 characters. If you are using all the headlines like 30 characters, due to Google Pixel, Google won't be able to show you, I mean, showcase all the 3 headlines in a search, I mean, engine result page. All right. It will show only 2 headlines. Always try to use lesser headlines, at least for 1 or 2. That would be very helpful for you. Try to use it for your responsive search ad as well. The way we should create like that, so that Google Pixel is enough to showcase 3 headlines together. Otherwise, it will show only 2 headlines. Let me know if you have any other question on this. So For customer list, I'm using, okay, I'm using any type of customer list because my favorite option is to use customer list here. These are our past customers. If we can guide Google machine learning with our past customer instead of using LP visitor or website visitor, it would be more beneficial for us. So apart from that, let's not use demographics or detailed demographics or interest. For demographic related, I can definitely, use demographic, like my minimum age should be as a business owner should be 35 to, let's say, 54. And additional demographic may we can use household income as well, top 10% to top 30%. Someone say something. Using custom audience, your audience together will increase CPM, spend more on campaign. So I'll come back to you on that. Do you have any option to target lookalike option, Google custom audience? Yeah, you can. If you can see here, customer list. No, lookalike option is not available. So I'm just saving it as of now. This is my audience signal. I'm clicking on next. Then I need to add my extensions.
And Kaushik, just to add that pointer there for Ankit as well. Ankit, this is a alternative to custom audience altogether, because custom audience is what you are uploading a data, and based on that, Google is trying to find new data for you. And it's very useful also to understand what is a custom audience. Like in case of Facebook, 1% custom audience actually means looking at the whole population and the 1% which matches up with the whole requirement. So in this automated way, which is the Google Performance Max, it is an alternative to custom audience anyway. So in that way, giving a custom audience here does not make much of a sense altogether. Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah, so I have added lead form extension as well, and thus we can add cyclic extension and on. So by clicking on next, we'll reach to our summary. So something is wrong here, the asset level. Some editorial guidelines is there. Someone, thank you again for the show. See, so till the time it loads, let me discuss with Nikhil, like using custom audience and your audience together will increase the CPA or spend more on campaign. See, why actually I recommend to use, customer data, and along with that custom audience, people who search for the, items, so that Google machine learning can understand what should be our customers actually searching on Google, and along with that, what our potential customers are. Based on that, they will try to figure out our audiences. So let me know if you have any more question on that. We can definitely discuss on that. I think that's a bug or what, I don't know. Anyway, I have already created one campaign like this. So let me show you that. So here in the campaign, I have created 4 asset groups. 3 to 4 asset groups, one with SEO. Here I have taken audience database, sales database, our SEO related campaign database, and SEO related keywords, people who are searching for SEO company, SEO related services, all these keywords on Google. We have taken this. Secondly, digital marketing, the way I tried to create there, but due to bug, it didn't happen actually. So here I have used digital marketing related messaging, digital marketing related images, digital marketing related video. And as an audience signals, I have taken like service intent keywords, which is related to digital marketing, and digital marketing related customers data, people who actually quoted for digital marketing services from us. Lastly, social media as well, social media related images, messaging, and their keywords and databases as well. Yes.
We have another comment.
Yeah, you have segmented ads with tier one. Is it demographic tier one or anything else? No, not this campaign actually. I don't know your name. Anyway, this is actually based on the locations. It's location tier one locations in India. All right. So let's come back to our chart. I mean slide.
So Kaushik, while you're going to that slide,
Hmm.
let's see if there is any question that is left to be answered. I
Okay.
think Nikhil's question is answered. Nikhil, the also what you should look at is Kaushik, if you can go back to that asset group, or their audience is known as, it's not the audience, it says audience signal.
Yes.
So we are not selecting any audience, but what we are doing is passing as many signals as possible to Google, so that Google can understand what should be my right audience looking like. And the uh, sometimes in terms of your services, like Kaushik was talking about e-commerce versus services, at times what we have seen is in certain audiences, my lead generation can be very, very high, but my final conversion can be very low because they may not afford my services. So Google will not understand who is my right customer. And if I'm only depending on my conversion, which is my lead generation, then Google does not have enough data point. So that's why it's very useful for Google to understand who is your real customer. And because Google keeps a track of all the behavior and as much as possible. So for Google to understand this is the right profile. And normally in our targeting, we get, what, 7, 8, 10, 15 targeting possible. But with respect to Google, Google might be collecting 200, 2000 data point about each of the customers. And because of that, their optimization will be far superior. So it's always advisable to give as much data as possible to Google to understand who is my right customer, kind of a thing. So that's recommended. Again, and this, I think the tier one I didn't understand, so probably it's a different audience that uh, must be there on our panel, right? Maybe for some other
Yeah.
clients or something like that. So that, forget about the tier one. I think it's not associated with any of this campaign there.
Yeah. These are actually, I mean, location based tier one cities. That's it.
Okay, okay. Go ahead, Prakash.
So these are the prerequisites to run performance max campaign. Now let's discuss about performance max campaign structure to acquire a lead. So lead based industries is quite complex. Like there should be one services, there should be two, three services. Even you can, I mean, service internationally as well. So if you are having only one offering, we recommend to use one campaign with different asset groups. Like I create the digital marketing services a campaign and separate asset groups like SEO, PPC, and all. Test with multiple creatives and messaging. The way I showcased here, like you need to use at least 15 images. I mean, maximum 15 images with all type of images and videos as well. And test multiple creatives based on the multiple asset groups so that you can understand the performance of each and every images and messaging. Use different audience signal. We will discuss this in our insights section. Now, if we are having multiple offering and we are, let's say, we assume our budget is very good, I mean, sufficient to run multiple performance max campaigns. So we recommend to test out different campaigns for different services. Like if our budget permits, we can create 3 performance max campaign, one with digital marketing, one with PPC, another one with, let's say, social media. Among that, let's say our from PPC services, we are acquiring more and more clients. We'll allocate more budget to PPC campaign. And if our budget is constrained, then we can use the way I actually created the performance max campaign in our, I mean, that I showcased few minutes back. Like in a same campaign, we can create different types of asset group like SEO, social media, and digital marketing, and we can see the performance from there. Now, if we are targeting multiple countries, that's a very crucial thing. Sometimes what happens, we create only one campaign and combine all the countries there. So it is advisable to create separate campaign for separate countries. Even if we are, I mean, targeting multiple countries, let's say Australia, New Zealand is there, US is there, Canada is there, even Saudi Arabia is there. 5 different countries to different continents. Create at least 3 campaigns for each continent so that your ad can serve equally. Do not combine all the countries together and allocate more budget to the best performing country. Before running the performance max campaign, I believe you are having a data like which country is working, how much lead they are actually bringing. So allocate more budget accordingly. Yeah. Can I get the recordings? Yeah, sure. So additional insights, some more insights. The main pain point for lead-based business is the client sometimes says, यार performance max campaign बंद करा दे. Lead जो आ रहा है बिल्कुल गंदा lead आ रहा है. So we faced this situation for multiple times, believe me. So what we did, we asked, we asked, coordinated multiple times with our developer and created this contact form. Like we created a separate landing page altogether for performance max campaign. Because there's no option to control. Like your ad should focus more on search, focus more on display or discover. There's no way to control in this campaign. So that's why we created a separate landing page altogether and using this in our performance max campaign with OTP based feature, be it for email address, be it for mobile number. After using this, we started seeing improvement in relevancy. We successfully reduced the percentage of junk leads from performance max. That's a very much pain point for lead based industries like junk leads. And secondly, the way I showcased, always use send traffic to the provided URLs only. Otherwise, it will showcase your website inner page as well. From the domain, it will take all the pages and showcase website inner pages. Secondly, recheck site link extension as PMAX campaign considers account level site links. So in account level site links, sometimes what happens like few site links URL are missing right now, redirecting to the 404 pages. So recheck your site link extensions when you are done with the PMAX campaign setup. Always check it. So any question related to lead generation related business? Otherwise, we can start with the e-commerce related business. If you have any question, kindly put that in our chat. Yeah, Tarun, please go ahead. How important OTP feature is? All right. How to implement? Oh, sorry, my bad. So we discussed with our developer and we asked them to implement it. Now it's totally their job to implement. I am not that much, technical person to, help you with that. But yes, after implementing this, we can see improvement is there because people who are looking for job, yeah, you will get the recording. I believe any tool for that. So I believe you should discuss with your developer. He can definitely help you.
It's not a very complicated thing to implement it. Any developer can get it implemented. All that you're doing is using an SMS gateway to whenever they are putting it, the SMS is going, and then you're matching up with whatever is being done. And I'm sure there will be some there will be some classes available of programming which can be done. And if you require any kind of a help, we can connect with our development team also, who might have any library which is available or a tool which is available. Kind of a thing. And what Kaushik said about this landing page is very critical for one reason, is that in the initial stages, Google is also trying to experiment that what type of leads, what type of things are converting. And if they see that a lot of conversions are happening, and if the conversion is of not quality for us, then Google gets a wrong signal that, okay, these keywords are converting a lot, and let's do more of an advertisement associated with that. But later on, for you to make money out of that lead is only when the lead is of quality. And unfortunately, the quality is not getting passed as a signal unless you do the activity to make sure that the quality of the lead is getting passed. So now the thank you page is not passing average quality, but it's passing a better quality to Google for optimizing its own campaign and etc. Yeah, Kaushik, I think there are some more questions.
Yeah. So Akash is asking, what is the optimum budget to start PMAX? Because start with, less budget. You can try with that. keeping all the, I mean, hygiene level fixed the way I suggest. And then you can start with, let's say, 500 a day. You can definitely start with it and see how it performs. Based on that, you can increase the budget. So Tarun is asking, so how is the conversion rate from PMAX as compared to search campaign for lead generation? For lead business, what I have experienced in past was search-based campaigns work better, no display retargeting, etc. Right, I'm absolutely agree with you, Tarun. Search, like for lead related business, search campaign works the best. So that's why I have included one pointer today, like how to safeguard your search campaign so that performance max won't gonna overshadow it. So conversion rate, if we can, I mean, calculate, I mean, search campaign will be always on higher side as people is searching for you. And performance max, there's no option to control your search campaign. I mean, to focus more on search, to focus more on display like that, right? So always focus on search campaign. That's why I have included the point how to safeguard your search campaign. Lead related business search campaign is very much important. Yeah. Any other question? My Pigmax campaign, okay, is giving me a good results. How should I scale? Yeah, we will discuss it. Uh, we are having the best practices as well. So first of all, if you are running for your lead generation business, always focus on this. And if it is performing, try to scale up by increasing the budget. If it is still performing very good, try to change the bids to, let's say, from maximize conversion to TCPA, or if you are running with maximize conversion value, change it to TROS. This is how you can scale it, and we can use the help of insights. All right. So I'll showcase you. So let's discuss about performance max for e-commerce. So there are two situations here. First time you are running ads on Google with Performance Max. So you can start only one campaign with all the product. Use at least 3-4 asset groups based on the product categories with different type of assets. After running a month, you can segregate the campaign based on product data. So it's a completely different thing altogether from the lead-based industry. So start with maximize conversion value or maximize conversion, whatever you feel like. But I would suggest for e-commerce business, use maximize conversion value. What would be the bidding strategy when you want to run for awareness? So one thing I would like to tell you, Shobik, that performance max is not an ideal option to start for branding. As I mentioned, it will maximize your performance. The performance means it's a lead, it can be sale, or it can be a store promotion. So for branding, you can, or even event promotion, if you are acquiring lead for your event, you can start with maximize conversion. Event promotion is totally a different thing. You can start with maximize conversion if you are acquiring lead through your landing page. All right. So let's talk about situation 2. If you are already promoting products via other campaigns, or you are already having the data. So if you can create campaigns, if your budget is sufficient, start with best performing products, allocate more budget there, then average performing products, then non-performing products. So focus more on best performing products or categories. As I always suggest, use at least 3 to 4 asset groups with different type of creatives messaging. You're welcome, Sean. Start with maximize conversion value, as I always mention. If your budget is constant, that's a different game altogether in e-commerce. Focus on best and average performing products for performance max. For standard shopping, create only standard shopping for non-performing products so that you can understand what is the current search term. Along with that, please create dynamic remarketing campaign as well. And for performance max, use as many as asset groups. You can check how many PMAX campaign we can create. This, I don't think there's a limit, but there's a limit for asset groups. You can create maximum 100 asset groups per campaign. Now, if your budget is that much sufficient, you can create at least 3 to 4 PMAX campaign, but make sure your service should be different, or your, if you are running for e-commerce, your product line should be different so that it won't gonna compete with each other. The way I mentioned here, if you can see, best performing products, average performing products, non-performing products. If your budget is sufficient, if your budget is constant, create one campaign for best performing and average performing products, and for non-performing products, create a standard shopping campaign so that you can understand why your products are not performing. For situation 2, we can take help from enhanced e-commerce analytics to understand product performance and create campaign based on their data. So from analytics, you can check your enhanced e-commerce section, product performance. Here I have listed down the product category performance. These are the top performing product categories in my campaign. So I have created my asset group based on that. When we create different asset group, how can you make sure there's no audience overlap? Any tips to check it? Okay, Akash, one thing that I showcased here, again, I'm going back to, just a second, going back to the campaign. Your audience should not be overlap if you are using different type of keywords. Like for SEO, I have used only SEO keywords. For the digital marketing, I have used digital marketing related keywords. For social media, I have used social media related keywords, and your database should be different as well. You need to segregate your database. All right. People who inquired for social media, I have segregated those database. People who inquired for only digital marketing, I mean overall digital marketing services, I have segregated those databases as well. And I have segregated those databases for SEO as well. All right. Yeah, thanks. So the main thing is that optimizing the listing group. Many a times I found that in our campaign, we have added all the products and we added as a all product. After that, we are not able to see which product is performing, I mean, which product is performing, which product is not performing. How many sales is attributed to one product. We are not able to check it. So always use item ID or your custom level to optimize the listing group. The way I showcased here, if you can see, I have used item ID and added all the products separately. Based on asset group, you can see how much cost is attributed for yesterday, how much conversion we have got, what is the cost per conversion, conversion value, and what is the target ROS, I mean total ROS from that product. This is how you can be able to optimize your listing group. How to optimize that? Let's say some product where we have spent more but haven't got a single sale. We can definitely stop this product, or there's no option to stop. If there is no option to stop, we can segregate the campaign and create a different campaign altogether, like product, I mean with non-performing product, there should be one campaign altogether, non-performing products. Or if your budget is constant, you can create a standard shopping campaign altogether and see like why the products are not performing by seeing the search terms, by seeing the device level performance, location level performance, all these things. Additional insights, like the way I showcased during creating I mean performance max campaign, URL, I mean final URL expansion part. So for lead related business, I have recommended to not to use URL expansion. But for e-commerce business, anyone can visit any type of products. So you should open this option, send traffic to most relevant URLs on your website. But there's an option to exclude those URLs. What type of page you should exclude? These are blog pages, FAQ, terms and conditions, etc. So that performance max campaign or Google machine learning should not consider these pages. Here in this campaign, I have excluded all the blogs. Unfortunately, there's no option to, I mean, exclude FAQ and terms and conditions that time. So I didn't include those. So these are the exclusion you can see. Always exclude these URLs. Otherwise, Google AI will consider those URL as well. And you will see these URL, I mean, traffic from these URLs are from paid ads, which won't be a good option. Any question till now? Otherwise, we can start the insight tab. All right. So this is the most important part of performance max campaign, insights. So insight tab actually showcase your keyword search keyword themes. I believe one question is there. URL list, can you provide? It can be like, can you please tell us which URL to exclude again? Definitely. Like URL should be excluded like blog pages, your blog URLs. Like there should be an URL called slash blog, then slash blog ka URL. I mean blog post ka URL. Then FAQ page, then terms and condition page. Could you please show a live insights if possible? Definitely, I will try my level best because in our text to campaign we don't have any live insights as all the campaigns are pods, and I won't be able to showcase my clients live insights, but I have included one insights which is very much important for us, and I'll tell you why. So insight tab actually represents your search keyword themes. For smart shopping campaign who actually used to run those campaigns, there's no option to see the search terms like we generally see on search campaigns, but in performance max campaign there's an option to see the search terms based on the categories. There's an option to see what type of audiences are bringing most of the conversion share. For the jewelry based business, we found that this type of audiences brought most of this conversion. If you can see the share of conversions and the index. Can UPI, can you please show the URL excluding slide? All right, let's see that. Okay, you won't be able to see insights in your campaign until and unless it's full-fledgedly running. At least after 10 to 20 days, check your campaign. I believe you'll see the insights. Yeah, Jatin, you can see the excluded URLs here. Like you need to exclude your blog pages, FAQ, terms and conditions, etc. All right. So from insights tab, we found these type of audience segments brought most of the conversion share. All right. So what we did, we create a separate asset group based on these audiences. All right. And just see the, I mean, situation here. Day before yesterday, we found this situation. These are the actual asset group. These are the performance for actual asset groups. And this is the new asset group that we created. If you can see, cost per all conversion is, I mean, much lower than other, I mean, products. And the ROAS is on higher side as well. So always try to interpret insights like this way, like your audience segment should be like that. And let me check if I can show you the live insights. So then real estate marketing. Just a second. This one minute. Okay. Performance max. We ran it for most of the days. Here's the insights. Okay. So in the insights tab, you'll see week over week and month over month tab. So currently it's paused for many days. No, it's not showing at all. So if I can take a look from performance max campaign, all the performance max campaign, I'll be able to see what type of search category we are getting conversions. You can select conversion, clicks, impression, conversion value, all these things. You can see real estate leads Mumbai. So what we did, we have added these keywords in our search campaign and stopped smart performance max campaign. This is how we use insights and scale up our performance max campaign. So you can see the live results day before yesterday. Cost per conversion is on lower side and ROAS is on higher side. Any question till now? All right. Does this only work for e-commerce? So inside tab, you will see for all the campaigns, be it for lead, be it for, I mean, Google Hotel Ads also coming under Performance Max, Google local campaigns also coming under Performance Max. Everything is coming under Performance Max, and automation is the future. Performance Max is the future. Very soon you'll see more campaign types are coming under Performance Max. So I believe Insights tab section is clear. Now the main thing, few minutes back, thank you. Few minutes back, I believe Nikhil was saying that search campaign, sorry, Tarun, why search campaign is important? Because search campaign make conversion rate will be always on higher side. So let's discover how we can safeguard our search campaign. But before that, before discussing on this, please check the campaign type. if you are running performance max with along with this campaign type, which campaign will enter the auction or which campaign will win the auction. All right. Let's say search campaign with exact match keyword, and we are running with performance max. Search campaign will win the auction. Search campaign will other match type based keywords like be it phrase match, be it broad match, and running with performance max. According to Google, campaign with higher ad rank will win the auction. But many a times we found that performance max overshadowing this type of campaigns. So, shopping campaign performance max will win the auction. Dynamic remarketing may be same. YouTube campaign with higher ad rank, discovery campaign higher ad rank. So to safeguard your search campaign, we recommend to use exact match keyword. Else performance max many a times we found will overshadow. Secondly, many a times we found client is running two ad accounts. Ads from two ad accounts, one for search ad, one for display ad. So always try to use one ad account to run your search and performance max campaign. If you are using like this, two ad accounts for your clients projects, always use only one campaign, one ad account for your search and performance max campaign, and try to gain maximum quality score for your search. I guess it's the future. Our work might be due to understand target audience and make good creatives. That's all. That's, I mean, a debatable topic. We'll discuss it later with you. You can always connect with me. So how to protect your brand search campaign? I believe most of us are running brand search campaign, and it is very much important to safeguard your brand position. Otherwise, your competitor will run the campaign and steal your traffic. So we recommend to use exact match keywords like I did here. We recommend not to include website visitor as an audience signal in your performance max campaign. Why I'm saying this? Because if you are using website visitors, most of the times what you will see, your brand campaigns will come under search campaign, search keyword themes based category in the insight tabs. That will harm your brand search campaigns. And lastly, use only one ad account. And these are few reportings from overview tab. You'll see like asset report, then performance report, ad strength report, which asset is performing how. By click, there's an option called see asset report summary. You'll see which ad is performing good, performing best, and performing low. Please change all the assets which are showing low as quickly as possible. Secondly, report from listing group that I have always already showed you, like from listing group and product group, you will be able to see product level data. You can interpret this data and use it as an optimization option. Secondly, this is a very, very new update. Placement performance for performance max. How you can see that? Let me show you in the live campaign. I'm going reports, predefined reports, other performance max campaign placement. I'm taking all time data, and you will be able to see what type of placements are Google is using for performance max campaign. Most of the time you'll see Truecaller, caller ID related tabs, but unfortunately there's no option to exclude these. Even if you are using placement exclusion list, you won't be able to add your performance max campaign here. But I believe there will be an option to exclude this. Since Google is showing performance max placement, there's a their strategy will be, very soon there will be an option to exclude, and you can play with all the metrics. Like you can add impression, you can add conversion rate. Let's say I'm adding conversion rate. Don't know why it is not happening. All right. So this is how you can do the reporting part. And apart from that, you can check the extension report from the campaign, site links, and from the location tab, you can check the location performance, where we will get this feature. Can you please tell us which feature, Jatin? Could you please come again? Which one you are talking about, Jatin? Truecaller and other places. Okay, I'm showing it here. Go to reports, click on predefined reports, click on other here option. You will be able to see placement performance report for performance max. And as I mentioned, at this moment, Google is not giving the option to exclude the placements. But yes, we believe soon they will, enable this option to exclude your placements. So lastly, some best practices. Use campaign specific goal. So this is very much important. There are some goals which are account based goals. So always use campaign specific goal for your performance max campaign. Always starting use maximize conversion or conversion value, then change it to TCPA or TROS based on the performance. At least wait for a month or two. Based on the data, you can change to TCPA or TROS. Create relevant text that match with the theme of your asset group that I already covered. Add as many as different image formats possible. This will increase the chance. That also I have covered. Place your content in the middle of 80% of your image. That is a very good option. Use video minimum 10 seconds. Always use video, otherwise Pmax will create a video based on your images and text, and we have already checked that video. That is horrible, trust me. Do not leave that video option blank. Use your customer database and customer intent as an audience signal to start up. This will help to Google AI to identify the right audience for this. So that's it. If you are having any question, please let us know. We'll try to discuss.
All right. So, Kaushik, anything else that you want to cover, or we can, because we are already.
Yeah, I don't. I'm done, sir. If you, what is the best time for the video? Okay, best time I'd suggest preferably minimum 10 seconds. If you are having more than that, at least try to use 50 seconds video. Average time to keep the time 30 seconds or 1. You can use 30 seconds to 50 seconds. That's okay.
So, all right, everyone. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll keep doing similar is Performance Max ad shows in YouTube Shorts.
So recently, Google launched this YouTube Shorts ads in our GML 2022 event. So it's still not showing in YouTube Shorts, but very soon we can expect it will show. Thanks, Nikhil.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So I think we had very interesting questions. And if you still have many more questions, please shoot it to the email or the WhatsApp number which is given, so you can take that up. We can certainly have another session on Facebook, Power 5, and Facebook altogether campaign structuring. In fact, we had shared some of the campaign structure on our LinkedIn as well, where the whole campaign structuring, how it needs to be working, because there it's less complex than that of Google, but it's relatively different way of looking at it. And thank you, Kaushik, for your time, and thank you for showing it real and preparing so many things in advance. And I think all the comments and everyone has enjoyed. Thank you so much for your time, and everyone else, thank you so much for joining in. And we'll keep on doing similar sessions. And please do share anything that new that you are learning, so that we can also learn from it. And let's grow together. And we'll try to create a community out of it, so that we can all be together in the growth together.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's it from our end. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful weekend. And we'll speak to all of you very soon. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.